Check. Is this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's do the first thing we do every single day and hydrate. Put the lemon into the water. Decalcify that pineal gland. Let's stay on topic. And there is a troll here, and he said, why say 10 a.m. when you start at 10:10? Because the countdown's part of the show, man. Like, am I the only one? Isn't that, like, to me, that's pretty obvious. Like, there's a 10-minute countdown. Why a 10-minute countdown? Because you're going to sit here and we're going to go through a lot. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to get a lot of information. You might sit down, realize you have to go to the bathroom. You might sit down, get ready, realize you want to get something to drink. It gives you time to get ready to begin to process a lot of information. You know, we're going to break it down right now. We're going to have a good amount of time, but we're going to educate. And so that 10-minute countdown gets your mind right, gets you meditating, gets you in the state of mind that you want to be in. So when we're ready to really hit the gas and keep it running and hit the charts, you're ready to go. And so, also make sure that we have the audio levels right. It just gives the studio time for us to make sure that if anything is wrong, we can boot back up and get it running. So God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and hanging out with us. And and sorry to even address the hateration. Let's take a big sip of the lemon water. Let's stay hydrated. Let's get that music back up and running. And let's break it down for you like we do every single day. New shirt, never wore the shirt. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the buttons on the collar? I never liked it. I was never a fan. But now I buy so many shirts. The other day I bought them and I just forget or I don't look. And then I had so many I can't make a big deal about it because I have them now. And so I do wear some shirts with the buttons, some without. What's your take on it? What do you guys think about the shirt with the buttons? I think it looks kind of regal depending on the shirt. I mean, depends. Anyway. Let's have the water and let's get it in. Water does so much for you. You wouldn't believe how much you could change your life just by drinking water. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's jump on into it, break it down like we do every single day. A little bit slow action here on a Monday morning. You know, OXT Orchard up, everything else down, which is pretty funny. 9 gainers, 59 losers here in this general spread. Even Pepe down 7%, Theta down 7%, SNX, the whole market taking a bit of a beat down to the downside. False move Monday. Bitcoin already had a bit of a pump, but is pulling back. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. If you're on my trading group, you could have already accessed this beautiful pump to the upside. I could see it happening before it happened. I don't know why. It's something that I do. Honestly, it's pretty simple. It was a flag that could break to the upside, but there was more to it. I was looking at BOOKMAP, but look, watch the 7-minute flag for a short squeeze at 9:23 in the morning in my trading group. Calling this pump to possibly 41,778 is the target that I was looking for. And I mean, we got very close to my target, 41,727, about 70% of the target, which is where I usually take some profits anyway. So beautiful move to the upside for Bitcoin. If you're looking on a scalp, and that thing just absolutely mooned. I love it watching these back in sweet time here. It was the 5 or the 7, depending on, I was going back and forth between them. I use them in tandem depending on the day. Mostly the 7-minute, but every once in a while I'll sneak in the 5. And we came up to the upside. Nice, beautiful move. If you're in my trading group, you already got the update. Monday morning, we're working hard for you. Early, 7 a.m., scanning the market, 8 a.m. until we see something that makes sense to the upside. Coke Inu keeps pushing to the upside. That thing got on our radar. I believe it was a meme, if I'm correct, on Avalanche, right? And this thing is a $139 million market cap, up pretty sweetly so far. A meme here on Avalanche. And I believe Dex Screener does the Avalanche chain. Let's just take a look here and see what happens. Sometimes you can't get the C chain, but I believe Dex Screener really does a good job. Yeah, for wrapped AVAX. So you'd wrap the AVAX, get it in, and this thing's continuing to the upside. I looked at it, either it was on Twitter, or maybe it was even in our trading group, up 393% since the low here on December 15th, 3 days ago. Thing is going up beautifully to the upside. Meme coins taking over. STX also has broken out, holding a gain of 13%. Something's going on with STX. We gave you exclusive news in the trading group. If you want to learn what's happening with STX and Alex Labs, I would jump on into the trading group. Exclusive information, and we go through trends. We have people inside of Discords. We find out what's happening, and we can kind of start to see a narrative before it even becomes a narrative. All right. So just readjusting here, my target is 163 for STX. I like this consolidative pattern that it's making, getting tighter in the zone above the moving averages. The 1 hour even right now could make a break to the upside. Once it gets back above 123, it's going to make a massive move up. In my humble opinion, that's going to be a major resistance for it. It breaks above that. That thing is gone to the upside. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Moving forward, let's sell Bitcoin. Beautiful pump to the upside. Does it have enough gas to do it again? Well, what it's doing is hitting resistance or support, previous resistance becoming support, okay? You have the 50 crossing the 200 SMA, which is a golden sign, golden cross, and you have the stochastics curving. RSI isn't in the worst place, and the MACD also suggesting that it could possibly get a move to the upside. You know, there's a chance this flag continues on the 5-minute here. Bang, bang, bang for Bitcoin. And we continue the short squeeze. A lot of people are shorting, a lot of fear in the market. And we're looking at this giant double bottom if you were with us. And it is Monday. We're going to start fresh again anyway and break it down for you. But I just wanted to show you the smaller time frame. I'm watching this flag. Looks, you know, to me, like it wants to break out and go for the target at about 41,968. Possibly spill over to 42K for Bitcoin, all right? Take a look at BOOKMAP, heat map, order book. And shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in, getting the education you deserve and getting the information you deserve and, you know, just getting boomed up. My energy is at its apogee. It's infectious. I want to give it to you if I can every single day and pushing you guys to the limit. I push myself to the limit. Some days I wake up, I'm like, the entire movement I'm forming is based on me. The second I stop going live, the second I just don't push forward, the second I don't come with that energy, it's over. It all just kind of dissipates. You know what I mean? You are the energy you keep. You push forward every single day until your last dying day. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You don't have a choice. If you want a different life that other people don't live, if you want to drive the big boys, if you want to change your life, you want to be on top, you're going to have to want it. You're going to have to desire it. You're going to have to push for it. I always talk about the 3 Ds, right? The desire to change your life. First thing was the desire. You know, desire is just desire. It's not everything else, but it does start with desire. Without desire, you don't have this inner push to continue, okay? The desire, okay? You want the desire, man. It's in a burning desire. Nothing can stop a burning desire. Once you have a burning desire for something and you've decided that is what it is, there's nothing else that will fulfill you 100% until you get that, until you go for it. Then that's going to, you know, you're going to get there, right? You're going to get there. You're going to get there. Then you need the dedication. Keep yourself dedicated to something over and over again. Stay dedicated to it, all right? You know, no matter what, no matter what. Then you need the determination to continue forward, pushing forward. Then you need the discipline to do it even when you don't feel good. Even when you're not, you know, there was days I had COVID. There was days I was down and out, whatever you want to call it. There was days I had the flu, whatever it was. And I pushed forward. I showed up to the live, whether it was 10, 20 minutes to half an hour, but I made the live happen. I did not miss my days, you know. And God bless you all for being here. The 4 Ds will get you through. Write them down, repeat them, keep them when you're not feeling well, keep them when you want to give up. Tell yourself, no, no, no. And then all the days you put together, the hard work, like if you've been putting together years of trading or months of learning how to trade, don't squander it on horrible emotional nights, just pushing all your money in the market because you feel like it has to happen that night. You are the opportunity. The market is not the opportunity. You don't need to go in when the market tells you. You go in when the things meet your criteria. And that's why you need a system. That's why you need education. That's why it's super important, I believe, to get a mentor and a trading group and get yourself situated, get yourself on path. You know, I joined a trading group, never left the trading group I joined. You know what I mean? Bang, bang, bang. We'll talk about SERSH in a second. So this is BOOKMAP, heat map order book. If you're new to the channel, we use it all the time. It shows us where orders are on Bitcoin, right? Now, we have orders on both sides. You know, usually you don't get it so, you know, somewhat evenly balanced. However, you try to look for the closest orders. Like the closest big order here is at 41.8. We got really close to it already, and we blended in. You know, we basically got into that liquidity. And this is the short squeeze that I called this morning. I said I could see a 7-minute short squeeze coming. I'm known for the 7-minute short squeeze. Like, I'm famous for it. That's what we do here on the channel. Almost every single time when I show up, we hit a short squeeze. This one was earlier than normal. Usually we don't get it at 9:30 like we did, but we did in the trading group. But I was all over it. We still nailed it. A man has missed a day for years now, and then you complain about 10 minutes. Absolutely insane. Shout out to Lakochi Coker. We love you. We appreciate you, man. Don't worry about it, Lakochi, man. You're the man, dude. May the positivity bring more joy into everybody's life, whether they're up or down, no matter how they're feeling, And again, thank you so much for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. And Lakochi, I love you so much. Shout out to Master Friend. Shout out to Crypto Bear Baker. Shout out to GF Burke. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. You're with the Crypto Lifer, baby. 4 Ds, and you need a woman with 5. I don't even know where that's going to go, but I'm going to move forward. I hope it makes sense, but I don't know where that's going. Anyway, if you had to make a call on BOOKMAP, it's hard to tell. It's leaving us in the dark. There's liquidity on either side. At the end of the day, far more liquidity down to 38,000. So could we come up and scalp and come back down? Do we come and eat and come back up? And there's no way of telling that. And I've seen liquidity below here that never gets filled. All right? And I've seen liquidity above that never gets filled. This is not 100%. What I do is I add it to what else I'm doing and make sure that my trading style and that what I've already been doing for years before I even added BOOKMAP, makes sense. And then I add it to the story, corroborate, does it make sense? Does it add a detail? We have liquidity on either side. We do have more liquidity to the downside for BOOKMAP, all right, when looking at it closely. But it does suggest that if we get a move to 44,000, we have orders to meet us, But there's just, again, when we look at it, just zoom out, more liquidity below us than above us, period. Just look at, there's just more blend, So, link to BOOKMAP in the description below if that's something that makes you happy. We've used it many, many times. Keep watching to see how we use it. Once you see how we use it, you will be thrilled, and you might want to get it for yourself. You can do whatever you want and use it for all different assets around the world. All right. Thoughts on RIOT? Thank you, Sam. I haven't looked at that chart in a long time. Appreciate you, man. And it is false move Monday. Usually you'll get a false move up, followed by a move to the downside. All right. And I got a whole show cooked up for you and a bunch of stuff to talk about. Let's break it down for Bitcoin real quick. We'll look at RIOT real quick and just get through one of these super chats just to make it happen. But STX is on my radar as the hot coin to trade. I wouldn't be surprised if it does that 52%. We can see the narrative forming. We can see what's happening. It's also a coin we've been talking about and we've been in for a long time. I showed you guys how to use STX, right? And I was getting my Unisats wallet up and my other Xverse wallet. And we've been breaking down kind of these concepts for a long time. We have an Ordinals BRC20 area inside of my trading group. We've had it for a while. I made one of the first Ordinals. I think it was last October. Not this October, but a year before when Ordinals first started coming out. Pretty interesting to see Bitcoin, getting higher level of, sophistication. And I said that to someone the other day. They were like, Bitcoin's old. It's never going to. And I looked at them and I said, you really think with all the things that Bitcoin does, there's going to be no development on Bitcoin? You're going to see nothing new? And in my mind, I'm like, man, you got Segwit 2X that came out and we had that, and that won't be the first time. I was like, then we had the Lightning Network, which a lot of people don't even realize, I believe, how amazing the Lightning Network really is. But it's pretty awesome. And on top of that now, Panic sold order. You did, huh? Sorry to hear that. It's very possible I'm in the long with the stop loss just below 40K. If we dip, I'll take another long then. Hey, I like that you have a plan, man. Stick to your plan. Stacks at around $1 is a steal. So anyway, STX, and it's going to, propel basically. This is the coin. Basically, this is kind of like buying cake for PancakeSwap, and Stacks and Alex Stacks, Bitcoin, they all work together to help run the Ordinal ecosystem. So understand that too. It's kind of cool that Bitcoin now has its own little thing going, and that you got memes on Bitcoin. You got so much going on, and it's going to take over. Alex Labs really has been booming for a reason because people have been using it. It has a utility, and the ecosystem is rising. You want to understand what's happening on the DeFi side, behind the scenes. And now you got DeFi basically on Bitcoin. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Who here is excited for Bitcoin and Ordinals? Press 1. Press 2 if you don't give a dang about Ordinals. And I don't care. I just want to see. I'm actually excited if you don't give a dang, or if you do. I won't be mad. You know, I just want to see. But let me know how you feel. You know, so press a 1 if you're excited about Ordinals. Press 2 if you don't really care. You're just in it for the charts. You know what I mean? And be honest, we got some 2s in here. Okay, we got some 2s. People do not care about Ordinals at all. Then we got some people that do like Ordinals. Interesting. Interesting. They'll care when Ordinals start shooting to the upside, and they're like chasing them and rushing to get into the right Ordinal at the right time. But STX on my radar for a possible big gainer, something that I'm looking at. And so just because the market shifts doesn't mean it's all over. Just because a few coins take a bit of a hit doesn't mean we stop. We woke up today and already took gains on that Bitcoin scalp, you know, and strong coin right here is STX, and we know why. We know why. We understand what's happening in the ecosystem. We understand why it's being utilized. We understand why the utilization is making the price go up. All right. This is why I love cryptocurrency, because you can study what's happening inside, behind the scenes, and then use that in conjunction with the chart. Like this chart looks good, it's coiling up. The charts will coil up when things are moving in an ecosystem. Like they go hand in hand. You know, and I put this together over years, over sometimes not seeing the chart, knowing the ecosystem, sometimes knowing the ecosystem, not seeing the chart, but then blending them together over time and really starting to see a picture of where we're going and what's happening. Also, I love when Bitcoin takes a bit of a dip, because what it does is it shows you, it reveals the strong coins. It's kind of like when the ocean comes up, but then it pulls back, and it reveals, like, you know, the beautiful shells that have come out after the ocean recedes. Not the best analogy, something like that, like Bitcoin's pumping, but then when it pulls back, you start to see, okay, what's hot right now, you know? Yeah, I got into Fetch at around 21 cents as well. That thing has been unbelievable, doing about a 5x and continuing. Unbelievable, right? I mean, not a 5x for 20, but almost a 3.5x at 70, right? So STX making a beautiful move, all right? And Bitcoin just taking it right back. False move Monday, making perfect sense to me. Not getting the move out the flag here that we were looking at. Anyway, I'm going to delete all my work right now. And we're going to look at Bitcoin on the weekly and do what I do every single Monday morning. And we're going to break down Bitcoin from the beginning to the end here and see what we see happening for BTC. And I like to break it back down all the way back to where it all began and to go from there. So we know we have a key level of support right here at 25,000. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here for a second. Come here. I tried to get the dog. My sister's dog's here. Cute little dog. Anyway, sorry about that. So we have Bitcoin here and here. We have support of 31,361. In fact, the guy tried to get a dog. Bring that dog in here. Let me see that dog. Show him the dog. Show him the dog. Let me see. Let me make sure you're on camera here. Yeah, keep coming. Keep coming. There he is. Look, there he is. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh, ooh. That's it. Thanks, Marco. That's funny. The new dog coin. Yeah, beautiful pup. He's a beagle. Yeah, he is a beagle. They are mischievous little dogs too, man. You got to watch them beagles. They know everything that's going on, so they want to get into everything, you know. So the first thing I do is set my weekly support of resistance lines right off the bat. I've been more partial to the 5-day recently because that has this key resistance level here that we hit perfectly. And that's the level that I've been kind of sticking to right here at about 44,687. All right. So we clearly hit a resistance even on the 5-day. And now the 5-day is attempting to make another red candle. And we are beginning to, you know, and this is when I flip on the moving averages and I just talk about where the 21-day moving average is. And yes, we could be making, you know, but it's just, it makes sense that Bitcoin's taking a bigger pullback here. And so I would watch my alts. We had a nice run. People are going to look back like, what do you mean? I thought it's a bull run. It never ends. I mean, even in a bull run, you get pullbacks. Like, even look at this. As long as you stay above the 200 SMA on the 5-day chart, you're an overall in a very bullish tone. You know what I mean? So you don't really have things to worry about. As long as you stay above here. Look, the 50 crossing the 200 SMA. These are good signs for overall bigger continuation, but it doesn't mean we're not going to get a pullback for a couple weeks. Also, people like to sell off for tax loss harvesting right now. Balance off the sheet a little bit. They can get back in. Like right now, if you got into something a little high, but you believe in it, and you're going to dollar cost average into it anyway, you think it's going to even go lower. But right now, you're down a bit. You sell it now, buy it right back. There's a loss right there. Use that loss on the sheet. You know what I mean? Then when it dips even more, a few weeks from now, after the new year, you buy it back again. And then a year or two from now, you're up. You know what I mean? And you sell in the bull run. And, and you basically used it for what's called a tax loss harvesting event. And again, do whatever makes you happy. I'm never going to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just explaining some key concepts here and just talking about terms. This is a term people throw out. What is tax loss harvesting? It's selling at a loss to offset a win at the end of the year, even if you may consider holding the position. You know what I mean? All right. I agree. All of this channel is pure alpha. Shout out to John. Believe me, shout out to everybody here on the live. We love you. We appreciate you. And thank you for jumping on in. When you think you can buy Bitcoin, it'll go down more, you think. I don't know. I don't think anything. I just look at the charts. So right now, the 5-day to me, every time I look at the chart, I play the 21. And so the price action to me has to come to the 21. So it's very likely that we're going to come to the 21. Now, do we go lower and make a really big low? You never know. Do we come and test 26,000? Do we come and test 31,000? These are all possibilities. Who here can handle a $25,000 Bitcoin? Put a 1 in the comment section. If you could handle a $25,000 Bitcoin, put a 1 in the comment. Put a 2 if you would freak out and probably get sick inside and not be able to handle it. Be honest. But if you could handle $25,000 Bitcoin, you have some money on the sidelines, you would buy more BTC, you would buy more altcoins. All right, so everyone here looks really lifer ready. Lee Fox is honest. He would be sick inside. Dan was honest. I love it. Michael Paz would be a Miguel Paz. There's Michael Pa right there. Miguel Paz. Shout out to the Michael Pa in Spanish. We love you. But the majority of you can handle 25,000. All right. I just want to make sure you guys understand where, what could happen here. And I want to understand that this isn't the Moon Boy channel where we just preach and preach. It's all going up all the time. Or the Bears channel. We stay level-headed here. We look at Bitcoin one step at a time. Like that scalp of the 7-minute this morning. Beautiful. In and out. And then we look for the next gain. We don't marry ideas. We don't marry situations. We take advantage of the market every single day, every single moment, every single second, and just take what the market gives us. And if we get something out of the market that day, so be it. That's the beauty of the story, right? If you want to join the trading group and get more education from me and my entire crew, the elite traders, all right? Also, you want to jump on in and hang out with my Master Fred, who will give you an amazing course that you will download and watch alone at your leisure, and then have 3 weekly Zoom mentoring sessions. Imagine getting mentored. You can't get this anywhere else. No one else will offer this. I don't see it anywhere else. It is $300 extra, but then once you're in, you're in. Again, you don't have to do that. That's just, it's for people in the group. They want to do something extended. If you really love leverage trading, like you want to stick on leverage trading, and that's what you want to do day in and day out, like professionally, that's the place to go, in my humble opinion. If you're not that much into researching coins and you really want to just get it in, like you want to trade all day long, NASDAQ futures, Forex, and that's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, now if you're a huge crypto guy, you want to research, you could balance you can balance a lot from that class though into what you want to do. The key thing that I got out of the course, because I took it and I still learn from it, is, time periods. Like you're going to learn about London, New York. You're going to understand where you sit in liquidity, when most liquidity comes into the market and why. And then you're going to be able to backtest it for yourself and see it happen over the course of a few months. And then you're going to have access to information that just nobody else does. And that's going to really put you on another level as a trader. You're going to bring yourself to, from amateur to pro, like you're going to be able to, it's going to extend what you learn. You know, I learned a lot, and I've been trading for 15 years. You'd be pompous to think that that class won't blow your mind. You have access to that class in the link below or the QR code that I just flashed up there if you want to grab it one more time. Master Friend Leverage Mastery. All right. I also teach class at the end of every month, the last Saturday of every month. My class is coming up on the 30th of December. All right. It'll be the last class of the year. Jump on in if you want to. And what I'm going to teach you is all the indicators that I use, why I use them, how I use them, a 9-point checklist that goes with the indicators, a risk management tool, basically to find your stop, you know, how to basically calculate what you're doing. You know what I mean? It teaches you really, it's an amazing tool. That's all I want to say. I don't want to elaborate too much, but it's an amazing tool for risk management. And I even give you so much more. Tips, tricks, and ideas, and I show you divergence, and you get homework. It'll blow your mind. All right. Anyway, enough shilling. Let's get back into the class, into Bitcoin. So where were we here? And where we were. Oh yeah, so on the 5-day chart. So I'm seeing Bitcoin coming back down to the 21-day moving average. That's just likely going to happen. That's something that's very, very probable, right? Not saying it's guaranteed. We could get a lateral move. And when I say lateral, I mean, you know, more sideways. Like we could be making an ascending triangle. Either of these, but I just see sideways or downward price action right now. Bitcoin's going to cool off. It's in a cool-off zone. Everyone wanted that ETF. Everyone in an ETF tomorrow, and it booms up. Highly not going to happen. You know, the elites are going to take the next 2 weeks off. They're going to go do their thing. I don't see any big decisions happening until the new year. Till they come back after the new year, ready to rock. You know, so this is what I call the Twisted Sister. This is my projection tool that I use to figure out. But it's likely going further down because of how far away we are from the 21-day moving average. Okay? When you get space away from the 21, you're likely to come back to it. I know I sound like a broken record, but I say it every day. And I repeat these concepts over and over and over again. So over time, it starts to sink in. Shout out to the new subscriber. Shout out to Gail. God bless you. Thank you so much. We love you. And let's get the jar up and running there. So sorry that the jar was hidden. The jar. And throw some coin in the jar. Make the balls jiggle. I love it when you guys move the balls around. It is awesome. They explode. They go all over the place. It's just fun to watch. What? I'm being serious. What? That's you. You don't go there. You're the one going. Don't do that. Don't do that now. Don't you do that now. Shout out to the 994, about to break 1,000 people in the live. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's go. 300 people on the like button. Let's get the likes all the way up to the watchers. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's make this a show. All right? We're not done here. We're not even close to done. We're just getting started. We're going to boom into altcoins. We're going to talk about Bitcoin dominance. We're going to look at the dollar index, things that you want to see and that get you excited to see what's happening on the macro for Bitcoin. All right? 3-day attempting to try to live a little bit here and get a boost to the upside. And there is a chance that we make a lateral, you know, some type of beautiful lateral sideways price action here. And it's not all, you know, doom and gloom back down to these key levels at 36,000. But we could retrace back to 37.7, 36K. It wouldn't be the end of the world. For a lot of people, it seems like it would be, but we would be okay, you know. So could Bitcoin be making this trend line? There's a chance. Could we bounce back to the upside and then start some type of consolidation? It's possible. Right now, we have made a bit of a bigger double bottom on the 4-hour time frame, and there is a chance. So these are just the projection ideas here that I have for you, and I can see where we're likely going to go based on where the 21-day moving average is. Now, right now, the daily on the 21. Now, you lost the 21. Usually, when you do that, you're going to come to the 50. That's another, likely scenario here for Bitcoin. And we clearly have a rejection on the daily trend, like so. And, and this is why what I got going on is a descending triangle. And so let's move forward now into the 4-hour time frame where we have a little more detail and we can really kind of see what's happening here. So double bottom for sure, all right? But definitely descending triangle vibes in my humble opinion, which for me is a very bearish pattern, extremely bearish. So we have like a few choices today, and this is kind of where I began on the live stream. And this is what I did with my update today to my trading group. So we have a beautiful support here at 40,651. Double bottom bounce. All right. Could end up being like a bit of an Adam and Eve too. Backwards or, and we could break on out of here. There's a chance. And we double bottom and we break somewhere up here to the measured move of the double bottom. We get through all the resistances. This is possible when you double click out and we look at our indicators. The 4-hour time frame looks interesting. It's oversold and curving. The RSI is in a pretty low spot. After bouncing, it's not the word in R, and so the MACD also turning. We have some falling volume with falling price, which isn't, means we are losing sellers. And, you could even say we fell down to here and we began a reversal right there. Possible reversal. Definitely a double bottom. And I still do see this hidden bullish divergence on the daily, which whenever I've seen this in my lifetime, you really don't break this low before you break this high. You break this high first. Now you may break the high and then come down, but it says you're going to break the high that made the divergence, which is right there at about 44,643. So, again, nothing is 100% in trading at all, and nothing is 100% ever, right? That's the world we live in. But this just leads me into believe that we and I shouldn't be believing, but this leads me that the charts convey that there is a chance we do break up, all right? However, this is so crucial. We get above 43.3, 43.350. You can't get, where this yellow line is right here, 43.339, it says. If you can't get back above this level, expect more downside, If you can't get out of this downward trend line, you're still inside the descending triangle. Descending triangles break the length of the base, and they just go straight down. And they usually go down pretty fast, I'd be looking for the 4-hour to contend with the 200 SMA. That's the first level I want to see. Once it loses that, we're going to see it, it's going to start going to the 6-hour 200, And this is how I work it. I just work through the moving averages. Once you lose the moving average on the 1-hour time frame, and I went over this yesterday, but I don't mind going over it again because I find it fascinating, and it also tells you a story. And it teaches you what's going to happen. That's why when I called bearishness yesterday or last night on the live, we could see the dump, and we hit my target that I had last night. We eventually did hit my target that I had called out. We came up, we stayed above resistance, and then we dropped down to the target. And we did hit that exact area that I was talking about over and over again on the live stream, yet again. All right. And then today we hit a quick scalp that I pointed out, and now I'm going to attempt to find something else for you before I get on out of here. 993 people on the live, 365 likes. There's just 600 people are afraid of the like button. I don't know why, baby. If I came to your house, I would hit the like button. I would take off my shoes. Send respect to where respect is due. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. All right. Every single day, baby. Every single day. It does not stop. It does not stop. So beautiful double bottom. Bitcoin, can you break the move? That's kind of where we sit, where we stand, and where I'm looking. All right. We're eventually going to find out now in the smaller time frames what's likely going to happen. All right. So remember, the 1-hour must flip the 200 SMA. Right? Simple moving average. If you can't get above the SMA, expect more downside. Resistance, resistance, resistance. You can see it's been holding us back, not letting us get down, And we're in a descending triangle. I mean, you can see it clearly, right? I'm not making this stuff up. This is what we see. We did get the move out of the hidden bullish, but it wasn't enough. I find that strange. It'll be one of the first times that didn't make the high, but you never know. Maybe we do shoot up, boom, and we just rip through the shorts. We do have the liquidity to the upside here. These two red bars are there from 44 all the way to $45,000, right? Doesn't mean we're going there for sure, but we have, we can heed the fact that we do see that liquidity, all right? Yeah, 41,440 right now for BTC. All right, so I want to zoom in now into the 1-hour time frame and take a look at where we're going and where we're headed. All right, over bottom. So let's see the 4-hour one more time. So the 4-hour is oversold and wants to bounce. And so far, look, it got a beautiful bounce from 40,005 all the way back to the upside. So far, but I've seen that too. You also expect that in the descending triangle. You expect this. The other pattern that we could find inside here is this beautiful kind of falling wedge, right? Falling wedges break up 68% of the time, the length of the base pole there. And now it break us out and get us above resistance. You know, it's kind of a cup with a handle there, but to me that is a bit of a reach, but it has cup and handle vibes. 41,008 is the biggest red order right there that really looks like we could get to. Just like that looks like where we would go to for starters, and then we'll go from there. So 41.8, and then we take a look, where is 41.8? And it's really just like right here. It's really not that amazing. It's still below the POC. The POC is this red line that comes off of the VRVP, the Visible Range Volume Profile. This Visible Range Volume Profile can show you where there's gaps in volume. All right, whenever you see a big spike on this, that means there was a lot of buyers and sellers in the zone. Big spike, okay? Whenever you don't see a big spike, that means there's a gap, and you could usually fall through those gaps or fall up to those gaps. So you can pump into them and get to the next. So you'll leave here and you'll pump pretty nicely up to here. So look, here we left. Look how fast this green candle went. Zoom, right? Because we had a gap here. Then we hung out, and then when we dropped, look, we dropped fast because we had a gap. We dropped pretty fast right there because we were still inside the gap. And you can see there's pretty big candles, so we could boom back up through the gap just as fast. Just something to think about. So I do see some mixed signals. I would love it if by the end of the day, we're back above 42,000. 42K really is the answer, because if we get above 42K, we negate this descending triangle, right? We want this pattern to be demolished. We don't want to go to sleep tonight inside. If we go to sleep tonight in here, or it's this afternoon, 8 o'clock tonight, something like that, and we're still inside this, that's no go. That's not a good sign at all. All right, that's gonna be. That's a good sign for. Actually, it's a good sign. It's always a good sign, because that means we can short for gains. So it's always a good sign. But for the overall health of the market and for bullishness, it's not. You know what I mean? That means we're likely gonna see some bearish tones. So if we can get above here, even above just this level right here, and use this as support and negate this trend line and say sayonara to the descending triangle, that's going to build a narrative, and that's a TA story that we want to write. We want to see that. So can Bitcoin get the move? Right now, the 4 hour suggests that it can. All right, let's go to the 1 hour. The 1 hour is getting overbought, right? You can see the stochastics, and we got a nice pump, but it wasn't amazing. And now we're hugging the 21 SMA. So let's kind of zoom in here and see what's happening. We're inside of this channel for sure. We've hit the top of the bottom of this channel over and over again, and it's a falling wedge, broadening falling wedge, whatever you want to call it. It's got a wedge vibe, almost like we wicked, and we might hit a little bit, but then come further back down to the bottom of the channel. Right now the 1 hour is in indecisiveness, so I got to go to smaller time frames to attempt to see what's happening. And it's back to the 7 minute, right? And the 7 minute did a beautiful job holding above the 200 SMA, but now it's playing with it yet again. It did come back to the 21, and it has a bit of a fudged ending there to that falling wedge, but it still isn't a falling wedge with a curved move. So I would continue to watch the 7 minute time frame. It's been the go-to for the day, and it seems to be the answer for the time. Sometimes it's the time frames differ. Sometimes I'm using the 15. Sometimes it's the 1 hour that day. Sometimes I'm like, the 4 hours going to take over, and we're going to, and you're like, how do you know? And honestly, that's something that over time you just time frame intuition, I call it, or I don't know how to really describe it, but you'll be able to swing in between time frames and understand them. I always talk about time frames like having cars in the garage. If you have more than one car, driving a car, you have to get to know each one of them. You know what I mean? They're not, no car is the same each time you drive a car. It's always slightly different, right? And, you get to know each car by driving them. So if you only drove one car for like the last month, that would be like trading the 1 hour time frame. You get really good at trading the 1 hour, right? Now, once you expand, you start looking at bigger time frames, even to trade the 1 hour. But at the end of the day, it's the 1 hour that you get very good at. For instance, I like the 2 hour, the 3 hour, and I look at them here and there for when I'm watching price dump. I'm looking at them for succession to moving averages. But I usually go from the 1 hour to the 4, and I make sure, you know what I mean? And that keeps me level-headed. The time frames you use, you want to use over and over again. You want to get better at those same time frames. If I can, I think that's some good technical idea, for anyone learning how to trade. No matter what indicators you're using, you definitely want to eventually find the time frames that make sense to you and that you can cuddle up to and get nice and warm with. All right, on a nice night, read a book with in front of the fireplace, like me in the 7 minute. I mean, we go skiing together, we take long walks on the beach, But yeah, I mean, see this curvature on the stochastics? Doesn't mean you can't get a dump. Doesn't mean it, And we got a little bit, look, this is a low, that swings down. This kind of swings up. There's a little bit of hidden bullish divergence there. Previous support is resistance, previous resistance is support. You're holding 41,300 really as you break this fine, then you go lower, it's a wrap. But right now, chance that this falling wedge breaks to the upside. This is the next flag that I will be watching for a move for Bitcoin. Indecisive, the 1 hour is a little cooked, but the 4 hour could pin it. We need to see if the smaller time frames can blend, basically give us that idea, find that movement. Using the smaller time frames is so key. Before, I never knew with, anything below the 15 or the 1, I would just short the 1 hour if I saw it was overbought, which works sometimes. But there was other times, had I just looked deeper in, I would have seen bull flags and probabilities on the smaller time frames that would have cautioned me not to open up a short, right? Had I seen what was going on. Like if you just break above a 200 SMA on the 7, it's usually not a good time to short the market, right? But you can't see that. You'll see it over about 1 hour. Now, that puts a lot of chore on someone's brain because they're like, now I have to look at all these. And at the end of the day, you can just stick to your 1 hour and go at it. You just might miss a few trades here and there that the smaller time frames would have hit you. But if you stick to your risk management, you do your thing over and over again, and you learn consistency and discipline, over time, things should make sense, And when things dump like this, like on a Monday, right, I'm also watching very small time frames, 30 second, 1 minute. You can see this kind of made ugly patterns, right? So you extend this to, you can see fine. So we hit the top. Over you could consider like a broadening falling wedge. You could say we broke out, now we're breaking back in. I'd say it's a broadening falling wedge. And look, you lost a 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. The 1 minute. You want to be flipping back above those. You don't want to be losing those. And again, every single Monday, expect false moves. Expect a pump up, a pump right back down. This is how Monday works. We call it False Move Monday for a reason. I don't open up tons of altcoin trades. I look at what's strong, and we overanalyze the market and everything, but we don't. I don't make some crazy. I'm all in. Every once in a while, if I see something, I see something. Like earlier today, look around 7 a.m. Look how beautiful this was. Boom. Inverted head and shoulder, and it went above the target to the upside. Simple as a simple does. Then we traded the flag and that little flag there, and it pumped out, right? I just don't reinvent the wheel. I keep it super simple. I take the traditional things that I was taught from my mentors. I tweak them a little bit to my own fitting and to things that I've been seeing in the market in my thousands of hours, and we go from there. You don't force it. And am I making a trade on this flag right now and longing on it? No, I'm not. I do not like to overtrade on Monday morning. That's not my thing. Tomorrow, if I see this flag, I would take it far more likely, right? And to know your limits too, and to know what you want to do with your trading stop. To know when you want to trade harder and why. And again, learning time. And that's another reason why I would definitely join my trading group and understand, get the education you deserve. Like, understand so much more about the markets. Like, you've been trading markets blind, in my humble opinion. There's so much more that we can show you and teach you that's going to blow your mind. All right. And we want to take you there if we can, if you let me. All right. Me and my trading group, everyone in there really wants to take you to another level, show you the way. So we're watching this flag on the 7 minute for Bitcoin. And look, we've went from all the way from the weekly to the 5 day, to the 3 day, to the daily, to the 4 hour, to the 1 hour, to the 7 minute, even the 1, and we're deep into Bitcoin here. And you can see kind of where we stand. This previous resistance is becoming support. The second we lose that, we're dropping right down and possibly double bottom again. But it's strong support. I mean, look how it held a lot there. You would expect that to be a bounce for BTC, especially if you're oversold. So we could sit here and stare at the 7-minute flag all day, but let's take a look at the DXY. Let's talk about it. Let me jump back into the chat when I have a second, and let's have a ball. All right. So the DXY, I'm expecting it to go further to the downside, right? That's what we've talked about. That's what we've broken down. It broke out of this flag, and it did break down. You can see it did decide to start to break down. But now it's trying to flag here on its own, you know. It's attempting. And again, just like Bitcoin had a bit of a candle, right? Dumpage, this is trying to have a candle pumpage. Somewhat of a shoulder, really big head, right shoulder. Does it pump up to the 200 SMA? It's possible. You know, we've seen that many times in the 1 hour. It's oversold. So you're looking for this, you know, the dollar index just trying to get some love. I'm going to delete all my work and look at it fresh again. I just like to see if there's something I haven't seen before. I like to be open-minded. It always gives me a new perspective when I zoom out, right? So you can see that this is previous resistance. That became support for the DXY at about 166, okay? Key area. Then we have, you know, let's see here. I'm just going to mark this area too, just because it's somewhat significant. Didn't come into play as much over here. I'm going to stick to the note. So that's like our bigger zone. Locally, resistance at 107, resistance at 104. And let's see here. All right. Like, this is the first time I just did this. Like, I've never done this before, right? I never did that. So for the first time ever, I'm seeing a possible new pattern. And because I was open-minded to expand my brain and look, right? I hadn't seen that before. I hadn't even considered it. It hadn't crossed my mind. So the DXY, you know, that's what's called a symmetrical triangle. What if it gets a nice bounce in Bitcoin, you know what I mean? And, you know, even if we consolidate in there, the base of this triangle would be the move out. Hit control and you'll be able to grab whatever you want like I did there. I mean, a move down to 85 would be amazing for the altcoins, Bitcoin, the entire market. If they continue to print money, I don't see how we don't go to 85, right? I really don't see how we rip back to a new high of 121. Doesn't make sense. But, you know, this is something that we're looking. I've never seen this before. This is brand new, hot off the press. Crypto Lifer, brand new DXY chart. Never been seen before, never been shown. You guys are getting it hot right now. Okay? Seriously, I mean, to me, that's hot. I've made so many calls in my life. And again, who knows? I'm not saying, oh, look at me. I'm just saying my track record's there. It is what it is. Like, if I pass away today, like, there is a track record there, right? I mean, it's there. Like, I can say whatever I want about it. It exists, right? Gala Music is giving free tracks away if anyone is interested. Giving free tracks. Interesting. Like, what kind of tracks? Like NFT tracks? Like, you own it? How does that work? Right? So 121, that's interesting. I've never looked at it this way. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this for now, just so it's there. And I'm going to show you how to do that. You grab a group setting here. See the sheets? It's like sheets on top of each other. Right click. Hit create a group. Hit that. Rename the group. I'll call it like the symmetrical. And then you can always just make the group disappear. But it's always there for when you want to look at it, you know. I probably could have kept my support and resistance lines. Like, they didn't really need to change, but. And this song puts me to sleep, honestly. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. There we go. We've been also watching these two trend lines, right? And again, at the same time, it's kind of like a trend line that broke out. You know, I normally don't leave this much naked space in between my patterns. You know, you could say there's a trend line in between. There's like a middle line. So here's the deal. And I've used middle lines before. They've played out in my lifetime a few times. So, but you can see resistance, bounce. Like, so once we flip this line, we're going to drop down to the bottom of the pattern. You can see that's going to be a clear resistance area, right? So does the DXY get the bounce is the question. And is that something that we kind of have to be paying attention to? Inside this bigger channel, at the bottom of the channel, you would expect, you know, just pattern trading back to the top of the channel. Resistance at 103.43. All right. Stokes coming down, but look like they may want to curve. 4-hour overbought, but doesn't mean it couldn't flip for some more. And inside of a nice flag. Below the 21 SMA, which is, you know, not the most bullish sign, but look at the 1 hour. So, you know, you're looking for this to make a move here and break out. Likely, because look, there's your divergence away from the 21. You pump back to the 200 SMA. That's what we play on the 1 minute over and over again, right? That's what I teach you guys over and over and over again. So, bang. That thing wants to move to the upside, right? So if that wants to move up, that means the 3S tokens will likely make a move. And I wanted to talk about 3S tokens. That and then back on KuCoin. 3S tokens are kind of cool for beginners if you want to just trade like a smaller idea, you know, an ETF token. They're just fun. And also, sometimes I don't even trade them, but I just use them to look at the market, right? I'll look at a 3S token, then I'll short it on XC. But the 3S token will also just give me, it's just a great way to look, because if they look bullish, then it helps you understand where the market could be going. It's something I used to do and I got away from, and I realized how good it was for me analytically as an analyst, right? So I'm watching this flag on the 1 hour. You know, what we'd love to see is to see these stokes come up, bend, and have us not get above resistance, but it looks unlikely. It looks more likely that we are going to break up to the 200 SMA, and you're going to see the dollar 103.41. We'll go from there. We'd like to see the rejection here and then continue in this channel. All right. But so even if we do get this bump up too, I'm like, you know, Bitcoin has to get back above 42,000 to remain bullish. Still, we're just kind of sideways sitting right here on the support line. On this Monday, they're waiting to see who's going to long or short and go after them on either side, right? So you find like a big coin, all right, like MATIC, all right? I'm going to show you this kind of strategy that I've had for years on and off. So KuCoin has these 3S and 3L tokens, all right? MATIC.3S, okay, on KuCoin. So you'd want to look at this, and if this looks bullish, right, it can just tell you, okay, there's a chance that the market's gonna pump. I mean, gonna dump. You know, just you look at these just inversely because they pump, or you know. So like this is making a little flag on the 1 hour time frame, and technically these should match or just have somewhat of the same idea as the DXY. The DXY wants to pump. These 3S tokens should also want to pump. You know. Again, this has lower liquidity, so you can't get a beautiful pattern out of it. So I also am wary of low liquidity. Because everyone's trading futures, right? Less people trading these, so it's hard to get like a, you know. MATIC down's another one. Let's see if MATIC down. There's a Bitcoin down. And this is on Binance. They also kind of have it on KuCoin now. So you want to look at Bitcoin down as well, right? And see if it's in a bullish pattern. And right now in the 30-minute, look, it's making like, you know, an ascending triangle that could break out. You know, that's bearish for Bitcoin when the inverse asset wants to look bullish, right? Tight moving averages. So This pumps up, that's Bitcoin dumping. This goes sideways, they both go sideways. Then you get a pump, that's Bitcoin taking a dump down to 38K. You see? That's how you can take advantage of these too. So, I mean, it's basically like shorting Bitcoin, but it's just another way to inversely look at it. If this looks bullish, then, you know, and I like that as being a bullish trader for so long in my life, right? That, like, I'm just always going to be, my brain's always going to, it's like using right, left brain, you know? My brain's going to just be more apt to look at it that way. And also, it just helps too. Because if you have a hard time believing the market's going to dump on you and you always want to, you know, well, that means you like to look at things bullishly. So if you look at a coin that's a bearish coin and you can't deny that it looks bullish, then now you've gotten over your bearish bullish bias. Like, now you are able to short the market. Now you can see the market the way you're supposed to see it. It's almost like getting rid of a disease. It's like hypnosis. You know, I'm telling you, right, once I started flipping the charts upside down, hit Alt-I, it changed the entire way I looked at the market for the rest of my life. It really did. And what a false move on a Monday. I mean, that's what they do, right? And remember, almost every altcoin is going to follow Bitcoin, and I talk about this all the time. And this, for me, this is great. There was a lot of coins that just got out of control and ripped. And remember, I even told my students, and last night I said I bailed out. You know, I was in some coins. I got out of a lot of the coins, you know, the swing trades that I was in. Remember, we talked about RIOT. It's upside down, right? And look, everything's going to make more of like a falling wedge now. If it was in like a nice pennant, might dip out and turn it into a flag, right? Still on my radar. Nothing's really changed. We didn't buy into this yet either. I'm still watching it with the alerts, and that's why I like the alerts. The alerts tell me when to, you know, this could break down while I'm waiting for the alert or while the alert hits. And I'm just, all this tells me is there's so many coins. Without this alert, I may forget about this. May not even be able to redraw the flag, and then it's going to pump. And I'm like, man, I would have redrawn that flag from that, you know, I would have redrawn that pennant to that flag, and I would have been able to see what was going to happen. But with the alerts and keeping on with the alert, I am able to see what's going to happen. All right. Let's take a look at Alex Lab and see what Alex is doing. So we wanted to see it pump out of this to the upside. The 3 hour did get that move, kind of that ascending cup and handle. It is up a little bit from when we talked about it. Not amazing, but it's not down. For a market, you know, 14% for a market that's, you know, taking a hit right now is pretty awesome. All right. Let's take a look at the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency. Also want to see what's brewing with the total market cap. So we drew it like this, and we, you know, bouncing off the 3 hour 200 SMA. It would be great if we could get a bounce to the top of the channel here. If we break down, then it's just even more bearish. We lose structure. But if we at least get a bounce up here, we can start kind of something of this nature. To me, it's just what has to happen. I keep talking about this too, but the 3-day just too far away from the 21-day moving average. And I've studied this for a long time. I've backtested this on every time frame that I can possibly backtest it on, from the weekly all the way down to the 1 minute to the 30 second to the 5. I see it play out over and over and over and over again. And so I'm looking for the total market cap to come back to the 21-day moving average and possibly take a bit of a pullback here. All right. I don't know why people would run into, you know, Tether right now when the dollar isn't strong, but it is what it is. Maybe we'll get a strong dollar for a couple weeks to a month, and it will offset the bounce, you know, and people are going to use that, get into T-bills or whatever. But for me, it's still Bitcoin all day long. I'm still buying, you know, Bitcoin on the red days. That to me is the most important thing to be doing. All right. And so like right now, I'll buy $2,500 worth of Bitcoin because it's a red day, right? And I have to buy Bitcoin on a red day. Like I don't have a choice. If I like Bitcoin and I believe in it, then it has to be purchased on red days. If I'm going to hold it for 10 years and I believe in it, then I'm going to consistently buy it over and over again for 10 years, right? Order history, we bought Bitcoin right there and we filled it up, all right? One thing I was looking at was SERSH. We'll take a look at that. Or SERSH. Can't even remember, right? SERSH. Hold on. So you can't even know, you don't even know the name of the coin anymore. Like, nope. Back, hold on. Back, I'll find it in my orders. Yeah, no, I just couldn't remember if it had an SH or an SERS, you know. SERSH. Security Shield. All right. And again, very, very beginning coin. Be very careful with these things. They could dump on your face. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen to it. Brand new coin, though. Be very, very careful. All right. This is not buy SERSH. I don't know anyone that's, that owns the, I don't know the team. I'm not like, oh, yeah, no. Nothing about that. I don't know a thing about it. All right. Might not be up yet either. There it is. Serenity Shield. All right. Serenity Shield. So came out, aped in. It pumped up pretty nice at one point, right? Got up to about 99. On the exchange, I saw it higher, 109 even. All right. And then it got the initial sell-off, attempting to find its bottom here very early. So almost not even worth looking at yet. But we'll see. It could form a bit of a bottom. It could just go all the way down to the zero and turn into nothing. These are very high-risk coins. But just brand new coin, just hit MEXC. Serenity Shield. Could end up being the hottest thing since sliced bread in the next 3 weeks. You never know. We'll take it one step at a time. All right. One thing I do want to look at is kind of what it, give you guys a little backstory into the coin. Serenity Shield. And you can see it as a Binance Smart Contract address and a Solana. So it can be considered kind of a Solana coin, which is following the narrative. Okay. And, you want to see it on Orca, though. I only see it on Dodo. Orca really tells me that it's the one, But it's a decentralized application platform that offers innovative, revolutionary approach to crypto inheritance and secure storage solutions for our most sensitive data. I like that. Serenity Shield, right? Imagine I pass away, my family has access. Wow, the kids are just going crazy. Hey. That's crazy. A total supply of SERSH will be limited to a maximum of 100 million tokens. That's small. Buyback and lock of SERSH will be facilitated from the payment. Now, if they do a really good job of what they say they're going to do, and they work really hard at it, now, do they have an actual, they don't have an actual product out yet, right? Store, preserve, and restore their data in case of loss of access to their sensitive information. Wallet access, digital assets, the highly confidential information, other related. But no one wants to store or preserve the data, or no one, how do you do it in a way that makes me believe that it's serene and that I would believe in Serenity Shield? It's interesting, right? How would I believe in that? Anyway. But brand new coin on your radar. And I tell you, every single day we're going to teach you about something new in the space, and mainly a new coin to research, to go after, to look forward, and to get into every single day here on the channel. All right. Bitcoin flat for the moment here. Getting that little bit of a bounce, though. That's what we want to see. Falling wedge break to the upside after the liquidity grab. Low stochastics. Can we get the bounce back up and get back above this 200 SMA? I'm looking for this bounce, baby. Show me the bounce, baby. At least to the top. All right. And let's jump into the chat. God bless everybody here on the chat. Thank you for jumping on in. And join the newsletter. I'd greatly appreciate it if you join my newsletter. I just hit the link there in the comment section. It brought me to the newsletter. Hit the link, Lifer Key Newsletter. Hit that. Jump on in today. It'll blow your mind. Put your email address, hit I agree to the prompt in, and we're going to give you so much information. It's going to be amazing. This newsletter, and you're going to get 2 newsletters a week, which is 8 newsletters a month for the value of just typing in your email address. It'll blow your mind. We also gave an amazing Cyber Monday sale to the people that jumped in here early, and that responded really well. And so we're really super happy for the people that did that. We hope you're getting a lot out of the trading group and you're learning a lot. And we we want to keep you constantly privy to what's happening in the market every single day. So get this Key Insight newsletter every single week. Get the weekly technical analysis newsletter as well as the weekly newsletter. Put your, and this is another way for me to connect to you. I can talk to you, see you on another level, like outside of any other platform. It's me to you direct, right? Besides the email. But Super Chats, Helium, Riot, MATIC, TRB, and VAI. We'll take a look at those. Shout out to Lakochi Coker in the house. God bless you. Shout out to the whole Blue Crew, GF Burke. Everybody here holding me down. Timmy313. Shout out to John Preston. Let's take a look at the fan funding and everyone that sent in a Super Chat. Let's call you out here. Shout out to Lo Labober, right? Is that right? Lobo PR. Shout out to Lobo. Good morning, Lifers. Sammy, can you please take a look at Helium Mobile on the Solana network? Continues to rip. Thoughts on RIOT, Sam? RIOT's a mining company. I believe they can do well against Mara. I think they may even be maybe a somewhat better of a play against Mara. We'll take a look. Big Banks. Good morning, Lifer. Can you go over TRB? We'll take a look at that. Blessings. Any opinions on MATIC? I like MATIC long term. I think it can definitely 10x, possibly 20 if things get really out of control. You know, I see other coins that could outperform it, but I like MATIC. I have a bag. Sammy, God bless. Shout out to Jumpman Crypto for the $5 super chat. Big Bank. Stas, my man. God bless you, Stas. We love you. John Preston for the £2. VAA on KuCoin. 52x off the lows. Ready for a 30x. Possibly. I like that coin. RIOT. VAI. RIOT. X Globe Market. Do you use? Never heard of it. I do not use it. No. John Preston, appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. And thank you to everybody that sent in the super chat right now and holding me down. That's very, very nice. May God bless each and every one of you for doing so. All right. So there we have it. And again, if you want to trade where we trade, you want to see where we see, you want to get access to the coins that I'm likely going over and talking about every single day, you can't find them. You don't know where they are. You don't know how to get in. They're on MEXC. Lowest fees, highest profits, 0% spot, maker, and taker fees. Jump on in today. All right. Even if you just spot trade or swing trade or dollar cost average, it's the place to be. 0% future maker fee and 0.3% taker fee. Once you do, you know, if you trade leverage here and there, this is the spot to beat. This is the place where you won't have to overcharge on fees. I mean, a lot of other places are going to gouge you. They will not do it here on MEXC. Link is nicely nestled in this comment highlighter right here. So easy to touch. Bling. So you can join the trading group, join MEXC, and join the newsletter. 3 of the most important things that I would love you to do on the live here. I love MEXC. Usually finding anything I'm looking for on their exchange every time. Thank you for saying something nice about MEXC. You're the man, dude. And DOMI's been on my radar. DOMI's something that I've talked about in the trading group many, many times. Let's take a look at DOMI. All right. And it's on Gate.io. Also can be purchased in some other places as well. Right. Wow, it was in a nice flag until Bitcoin ruined the show. Right. Even DOMI online. So it doesn't matter what it is. Again, we didn't get into this. I had an alert here waiting to see that it would stay inside the pattern, make a beautiful pattern, look really nice when the alert hit. The alert hit, I take a look, it took a drop, tells me, dang, my setup isn't, you know, it's not worth taking. It's kind of sad, right? When you have a beautiful setup and it gets ruined by Bitcoin, but I've seen it happen so many times. Can you break back inside or you make it a bigger channel? It's possible at this point, but now I'm like pushing it and I'm faking it. Before I had the really nice 45 degree, like things are at a 45, I've learned. Once you start breaking the angle, you know, doesn't mean we can't get a bounce, and we'll watch it. And again, I'll keep an alert, and it will be on my radar. And this is the next setup if it is going to save itself. And DOMI could continue. And he said that the game release next few weeks. Your thoughts? I mean, I like DOMI. I think it's hot. I don't own it right now. I'm still on the fence of whether I want to own some DOMI or not, whether it's too risky or it's going to be, well, it's going to play off, you know, pay off. I don't know enough about the games, but the gaming guys that I see that look over it, they're not that impressed by DOMI online. So we'll see. So I'm still doing my research. It's still, the verdict's still out for me on DOMI. I don't own any yet, so that tells you something. All right. One thing this kind of made look an Adam and Eve double top. What if we break further down now? Not saying we will, but there's a chance. I open Ripple versus the SEC ends that the catalyst to the couple altcoins from Bitcoin. Can you please look at XDC? XDC had a major rippage, just continuing to rip to the upside. Unbelievable move, right? I think it was yesterday. It was up huge when I looked at it. Wow, they just put it on MEXC for the first time. We were trading it on KuCoin for a year or two, right? All right, so I had it here before. It had a nice pump. Maybe it was a different call. Oh, no, XCAD. That's why. XCAD pumped yesterday. I'm getting XCAD and XDC mixed up. You know what I mean? It happens. They're really close, but they're not the same. This coin I'm looking at here is just kind of like, you know, getting tighter in the zone. Retrace back on a Fibonacci. going on here? I'm hitting Alt F and not Alt T. Apologize. Retrace back into Fibonacci down to like the 706 Fibonacci area on this high volume node. Man, it looks okay. It's starting to consolidate nicely. Previous resistance becomes support. So that's okay. But, you know, with the market the way it's going, we could get even more of a pullback, and I wouldn't be surprised if we went a little lower. 786 isn't that far away either, but we're holding the zone. For me, I'd look for more consolidation. If it does one pump up and one more touch here, it's very likely it negated the dump. If it breaks out and gets above resistance, really right there, this little smaller resistance here at 0.53333, funny, right? That would be an area I would be considering. And then like really, really safe would be this resistance, but you're missing some of the move at that point, right? And a bit of a double bottom here too as well with a higher low, which is bullish to me to the upside for XDC. Measured move, I would just conservatively take the length of the base of this thing. Back to kind of where we began, somewhere there at 7 3/10%. HNT Helium. Let's take a look at Helium, our baby HNT Helium on KuCoin. It's also on MEXC as well. All right. But only the perpetual. I don't see the regular coin, the spot, right? So this got like some news about their network, right? It was hot. Good things going on. And we're looking for the pullback, right? So that's my last setup. You can see I have the bearish divergence pull that did give us a bit of a pullback. We got the pump, but it's, you know, not amazing. So let's take a look. I mean, the 2-day got really high. Just had a golden cross, though. Really could extend. And it was just at the lows at 169, right? Just did a 6x. Amazing how much money could be made in 1 month, right? In October to November. Like so many coins did a 6, 7x. Unbelievable, right? And that's why it's important to take profits. Like so many people are waiting for the next bull run. I mean, we just had a bull run. Like it gets in front of you. You know, everyone wants when's alt season? Like it was alt season. Like when do we wait? Like that happened. Like it happened in front of us. You know, because I went through all that as a young trader, like the bull market, this and that, and then like it was happening in front of me, and I'm like waiting for the market, and it's like, dude, look at your life. Like what was 6xing yesterday? Nothing. Now they're 6xing. Like forget about the narrative of when something is and look at what's in front of you and take advantage of whatever's in front of you. Again, not financial advice. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. A lot of people are waiting for these like big market moves, and then they're like, dude, Naka just did a 7x, 20x. You know what I mean? There's a lot of coins that made massive gains in the last 4 or 5 months. 2 months, last month and a half, like I just said, it's been amazing. Look at this thing. Ripping. You know, it was just $3. It's $7.59 now. It only took what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 18 days. It's a 3-day chart. So I'm bullish when you get above a 200 SMA on bigger time frames, right? 3-day chart looks great to me. And honestly, the 22, there's a lot of buzz for this right now. Normally, I would say you got to get back to the 21, but you're close enough. I look to trade it on possibly the smaller time frames, like the 6 hour here. And you got yourself in a bit of a nice flag, right? And this could break on out, what, to $12? Look for it to come to the bottom of the pattern one more time, possibly for 648. That would be really, really nice. And it doesn't mean it's not going to continue further down, but I would watch this. This has been hot. It is getting extended, so you're getting into higher risk territory every time the bigger time frames get a little more pushed to the high, you know, to these extended levels. You know, it would be far better to, you know, less risky to be taking profits right now after being in it since $3. But there is a bit of a swing here, possibly to $12. 86% gains is a good substantial amount of gains to take a risk for. So I'd be watching this flag on the 6 hour for Helium, right? With possible target to 1198. Let's take a look at RIOT, ROIT. And I know USDT there. It's an actual NASDAQ stock here. So Bitcoin mining stocks did well. Last time I put it in this flag, pumped up, came all the way back down, only to pump back up again for a funky double bottom there. Pretty interesting. Right now, the 22 hour still has room to the upside, like it could move. And the 22's not far. The 21's not that far away. So I would just kind of flag it out right here. Likely it's going to make a flag and then continue to the upside. You got a golden cross coming on that 22 hour and you have momentum coming. I'd look for this to just go sideways and then continue up. My target would be 22. And that brings me to Mara, right? Which I'm personally in. You guys saw me buy into Mara. And now we've now doubled our money. I mean, Mara just on an absolute tear. Not going to stop. Like, this is unbelievable. And you thought with Bitcoin pulling back that Mara would pull back, but it doesn't matter. They want the mining stocks, right? People want exposure to Bitcoin and they want it before it's too late. This is a cup and another cup. Usually these break up huge. Shout out to everyone. We basically have doubled up. We got into Mara at 964. I mean, fine. At 1920, we'll double up. But we made 100% in the stock market. I bought the exact bottom area here in this range between 960 and had one little dip down to 864 right before. And then it was gone. Shout out to anyone that jumped into Mara with me. I jumped in live on Webull. I didn't even have a link to Webull. Like, I wasn't even trying to sell Webull. Like, you know what I mean? Most people buy a stock just for like some type of purpose, right? No. Not even. All right. Mara, pump it to the upside. And that's what I like about BingX. Being able to trade the stock market and crypto in the same place. And we're having an exclusive new user event. So if you click the link and you sign up to my BingX, you know, and you hit the QR code that you're looking at here on the screen, you're going to have access, right, to, you know, $100 bonus voucher, which is going to be pretty awesome. All right. That's the trade. So net deposit reward, $50 bonus. You know, make your first net deposit of $30. Task 1, $50 bonus, you know. So invited. What they're going to do here is task 1 and 2 is limited to 300 users. So up to 300 people for depositing $300 are going to be able to get a $50 USDT bonus voucher. Okay. And then moving forward, I want to make sure, up limited that, right? Task 2, if you need to compete, blah, blah, blah. All right. Oh, for task 1, oh yeah. The reward for task 1 and task 2 is limited to 300 users. So up to 300 people are going to be able to get this bonus, right? So up to 3,000, man, they're doing it. I mean, that's amazing. So, and that's exclusively for the lifers, right? So you'll be able to maximize a $150 USDT rewards individually. The rewards will be issued within 24 hours while qualified. The progress bar will be promptly present on the event page. All USDT bonuses are with 5 leverage and are effective for 14 days. And it will start from the day the user receives the bonus. All right. So jump on in. They're doing that just for my community alone to get BingX up and running. Jump on in today. All right. Check it out. All right. Back to bitty Bitcoin. All right. Don't want to be too far away. So we did get the bounce out the flag to the upside as suggested. Battling the 200 SMA right now on the 7-minute. That's what we're going. Low stochastic suggests we will continue to the upside. We went a little lower than support. We did the dip and then got back above it. They played that game. See if we can flip the 200 SMA, and then we're likely to continue at least to the top here at 41. My target is 42,358. Remember, we have to close the daily candle above 42,000 to remain even slightly bullish for BTC. So far, we got a little bit of the move on this smaller time frame, but it's not amazing at all. It's not amazing at all. And it is a Monday. Remember, false move Monday. It also, the market should slow down. You know, 1 week to Christmas now, right? Christmas is on the 25th. Yeah, 1 week to Christmas. Kids are going to get out of school soon. Things are going to, you know, parents are going to be running around. People are getting last minute shopping gifts. All that's happening. So, you know, you just got to prepare for that. I've noticed that every time that the market gets a little different around the holiday season. It just is what it is. All right. Don't be discouraged. Stay on your long-term plans. You know, I keep getting the coins that matter to me. I focus on red days. As you can see, I just added more Bitcoin to my stash. Well, I'm focused. You got to have a focus and you got to pay attention. All right. STX looks good to us too. It doesn't mean like there's no coins out there that are going to pump. They may be less today, but over time it comes back up, you know. MATIC was hot, looking beautiful to me. Did it hold its own or did it ruin the pattern? Let's take a look. Yeah, see, Bitcoin just ruins the pattern. I mean, everything was making beautiful trend lines and holding the trend lines for a good period of time. And now they all lose their trends. We could wick back up. It could wick back up, get back inside the pattern. There's a chance. Right now, we just kind of have to like wait for the dust to settle. Like I'm just waiting for things to kind of either. And now you got a bit of an M pattern here that could break further down and give you a MATIC down to 66 cents. You know, could be crashed to 58. I mean, I'm open-minded. We were just at a high all the way at 97, back to 77 for MATIC. Another thing too. That's why I love having the alerts. Chance you could still be in some type of consolidative pattern here and get a bounce, but it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin continues to dump, these bigger coins will continue to fall with Bitcoin. That just is what it is. So I watch Bitcoin for the day and kind of make my calls on it, and then I come back to these coins later on tonight to see kind of what's happening. If I like the coin long term, I'm buying it for sure. On a red day, I'm adding a little bit to the stash. If I see more downside, I'm adding less to the stash, but I'm adding a little bit, you know. And then I'm waiting for that bigger dump. You never know what's going to happen, but you plan for the best probabilities that you can. TRB, which is interesting, was getting sold off hard, pumped into this, then took a bit of a dump, but still holding strong because look, it's way higher than it was just 12 days ago. On the 5th of December, 13 days ago, it was at 75, ripped all the way back to 131, holding 104 now for TRB. So let's take a look. I'll get rid of the moving averages and just look at my bigger time frames. What I like is previous resistance became support. Beautiful bounce for TRB. So there's a lot of people buying in. A lot of people were watching that support zone and got in. That would be the length of my next move up. And honestly, it's looking interesting right now with that, it had tweezer bottoms and looking like it wants to make a bit of a move there on the daily time frame. Okay. And remember, we have Spaces at 8 tonight on Twitter. Jump on into Spaces at 8. I can't wait to see each and every one of you there. Spaces at 8. And, Spaces at 8 is a really great place to say hi to me. If you've been in the trading group for a long time, you've never had a conversation, jump on in and ask to be a speaker. Become part of Spaces at 8 with me. Make it your routine. And I can't wait. You don't have to be amazing. You don't have to have tons of followers. That's what I really like about Twitter. People that have built up a following can sit and talk to someone that just really made a Twitter account that day to be able to discuss a topic, find out how you feel, break it down. Last week I went over the death of my mother, and a lot of people shared. CryptoFace talked about the death of his mom, and I never thought I was going to give him a platform to really share and break down. And whenever you go through your hardships with others publicly, you help other people go through their hardships too. And whenever you cope with really, really hard emotional pain, and you do it in front of others, I guess, I'm not trying to show off, but you just, you get through it and you teach other people how you deal with the pain. It helps other people deal with the pain. It really does. So, and I honestly didn't even know that's what I was doing when I did it. I just did it because that's how I am. I reach out whenever I'm in turmoil because I've always learned to get it out and not to keep it in. And if I can get it out, then I can get through it. If I keep it in, then for however long will it build up and where will it go? So energy to me, like they say, can't be dispersed or destroyed. So I let that energy out. That's how I deal with it, right? Resistance for TRB. I do see the 1 hour getting rejected at this resistance. If you break out, fine, that's awesome. If we get above 114 and I see a flag somewhere in the zone, I would be willing to trade it again for a nice long. But I see a possible short further down as it makes a bigger falling wedge here. Pull a fib and wait for it to get to that 618 golden pocket, which would be 94 and would be psychological break of 100, but wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. All right. That target, once it does break, is 155. And I am overall bullish on the bigger idea, but just not right now for TRB. All right. Let's take a look at RIOT, VAI on MEXC. Another coin that I liked, I had it in this tight channel. Broke down with the Bitcoin dump, attempting to get back inside its pattern. So if we lower this bottom trend line, you could say it kind of got back inside. So it did a liquidity grab. It's still inside. So I would just continue to watch this beautiful tight price action. Just has a less liquidity and pretty iffy. But smaller cap coin, it may hold some gain. You know, smaller coins will hold a little bit against Bitcoin. Like MATIC will go harder down because it's bigger market cap, way more well known in the eye. But coins that are less known, that less people are accumulating or know about, they get hit less because there's less sellers, right? And so there's a chance this can kind of consolidate. I would just keep it on an alert system though, and I'm not really ready to pounce in this right now. But yeah, you know, it didn't take a huge nasty dump all the way down here. It's still holding somewhat. Moving averages are very close and tight. 4-hour time frame also looks pretty decent. You desperately need it to stay inside this pattern. Like the second you lose this trend line again, it's a wrap, right? So we'll go from there. VAI. And thank you to all the super chats. You people are amazing. Crypto Plumber, Sam, the ETFs, TLT and TMT have bottomed and are trending upwards. Can you TA one of them? TLT. What are those? iShares Treasury. Okay, so let's take a look at it on the weekly. So we know weekly bullish div is strong. And I go by it, right? It got Bitcoin out of that low. And there is weekly bullish div there. So it's hard for me to say that's not going to bounce. So far, you did get what? I don't know, 8-9 weeks of pumpage. You have a major resistance for them at 107.38. All right. You have a curving 200 SMA, and you're still below the 200 SMA. All right. 5-day chart looks very similar, not much change. You're getting more overbought without getting back above key levels, which is bearish. The daily just got back above the 200. All right, that's a bullish sign. You get back above the 200 SMA and you hold it, and look, you haven't been back above the 200 SMA since January of 2022. So it's been about a year. These T-bills, right, have been falling to the downside. Treasury bond. So what I'm looking for is for it to stay above the 200 SMA, which the stochastics say is unlikely, but we'll see. You just got a golden cross. 4-hour looks interesting, so I'd flag out the 4-hour. If the 4-hour stays inside a flag, if the daily can hold above the 200 SMA, we have ourselves a possible move, right? And, you know, we are seeing a bigger reset on the bigger time frames. We have a major resistance at 104.36 and at 107.09, really, right? Or 38. We can't, you know, so we'll see what happens when we get to those key levels. But, you know, I do see a move further up after this golden. I mean, we have a golden cross on the 4-hour time frame. A little bit of bearish dip on the indicator, and we're getting overbought on the RSI, which tells us, hey, we might get a pullback. This might be more of a falling wedge here. But I'd wait, you know, I see a pullback right now to the 21-day moving average. We'll see what happens from there. We do have support here at where we're kind of like a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder, even though it's a tiny right shoulder. Lots of volume there too. Can you chart IMX, please, King? Thank you, you. Thank you. Super chats, mobile. Yep, we hit that. An IoT, Helium IoT, and XSP. IoT. Helium IoT. Let me see here. I've never heard. I don't know. I don't understand like how it's called helium, you know. There it is, Helium IoT. So you can only get this on Radium. So, you know, Orca, right? That's what I was saying earlier, Orca. Like, if it's a hot sold coin, you're going to see it on Orca, all right? I'm one of the few people that uses Dex Screener. I've never even seen anyone use it. I'm trying to think where I got it from one day. I think I was just looking at some type of, I don't know, some little coin or something. So this thing is like brand new. Like, it's so new. It came out, oh no, all right. Not that new, but look at the crazy wicks to the upside. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's got the price action is pretty funky. More news updates on the way. Stay tuned. Yeah, I can't really find out much. The future of the crypto IoT with a working product. As soon as exchanges start listing, we'll see crazy prices. IoT, Helium IoT. I mean, because there's a narrative cooking right now with Helium, and it's pretty just getting started, and it has Solana. It has two big narratives, like the Solana and the Helium. Something I might put $300 in, $500 in, and see what happens because I'm in early. You know what I mean? But that's, what I'm willing to lose. But I'd be careful. Let's see what their Twitter's saying, what it looks like on Twitter. And follow me at CryptoLifer33. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. We put out stuff on Twitter all the time, from ideas to charts to things that we're looking at. And yeah, we can't wait to see you there every single day. So jump on into Twitter. We're even streaming live right now to Twitter. All right, as we do this all the time. 193,000 followers. All right, so it just takes you to the Helium Foundation. So it doesn't, yeah, I get that. Yeah. So, I mean, it's backed by Helium. It has a narrative. It could do some damage with that narrative, right? And remember, join my X Spaces, 8 p.m. ET, Mondays, Spaces at 8. Every single Monday night at 8 p.m. Jump on in today. I can't wait to see you there. Spaces at 8, baby. Spaces at 8. Don't play yourself. You might hear about Mara that ripped to 1883. What an amazing move for Mara. Right at resistance right now. Does it double top? Does it break? It breaks through resistance. We're going to 27 pretty fast. Pretty awesome. SXP. There's a few SXPs. I want to make sure is this the OG XXP on Binance, or is this Solar on KuCoin? There's a few different ones here, right? Almost like a payment network back in the day, if you remember. And we used to trade it all the time. Swipe, right, or something. If you're asking about Solar, I'm looking for this to consolidate. Something like this. But messy chart for sure. Is this the coin though? I don't know. I'm in between on the idea here. All right. You charted HNT, not mobile USDT. They're both Helium, but different tokens. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm not done though. I'll get into mobile. Super chats, mobile USDT. All right. Mister, can you check out IOTX? Thanks a lot. I don't think so. Not without a super chat. No. There's just so many there's so many stuff in here for me to look at and so many comments that I like to interact with. Solar Network. Yes, there it is. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate the confirmation. Because I know you're paying attention. You're super detailed to the live. I really appreciate that. Some people ask a question and I don't know, they go for a walk or something, right? I'm sitting there like, hello, I never know. Hello. So a bit of a big double bottom here. I don't know about this coin. Does it have something to do with solar panels? I don't know. Upward running channel, which they do break to the downside 68% of the time. Rising wedges. Okay. Oversold. This is kind of the same pattern that I was looking at before. Why would I omit that? I mean, I've done that in the past and it's played out only for really like altcoins that are a little sloppy with price action. Will I do that? But yeah, I mean, mainly I'm looking for this consolidation though, right? And a bounce to the top of the channel again. Some bearish div there though. Looking at the 2-day chart, you're on that 200 SMA. I mean, I don't like the chart at all. I'd look for some, like I'd like this to consolidate into a nicer, cleaner pattern, right? And then get a break on out. But it is a giant double bottom, period, right? And that should break out the length of the bottom. And, you get above a POC, you have a huge gap here. Tells me that you could definitely get to here, and these two areas are, basically right there. See that? See this gap in the VRVP till you get to this next node at 136, 134. So, yeah, I mean, this thing could do a 5x. It really could. There's really nothing stopping it, and it's probably got a tiny market cap. So, let's take a look at SXP. Always had a hard time doing that. SXP with the 77s. $210 million market cap. So on Binance, wow, it's on a lot of markets. Wow. G-Shock unveils groundbreaking AI design luxury watch, renowned for its rugged. Oh, that's interesting. Solar is a nativity token to the Solar blockchain. Users can stake it to secure the network and earn rewards. Pay transaction fees for the Solar. They can also help govern the Solar blockchain. Founded Solar Network in 2018, who previously launched Swipe Chain, built Solar with a similar mission to mine, to prove sustainable, clean energy solutions. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. Looks pretty weird to me. I'm not saying it can't make the pump, but I don't know. Been around since 2018. Barely ever heard of it. No news. Haven't done much. Haven't made any splashes in the market. Airdrop campaign is live now. Calling, I don't know. I'm not a fan. Something about it turns me off. I can't explain it. And I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. And if there's a team out there and you guys are working hard, God bless you. I hope things go well for you guys. I don't mean to be rude. All right. But it is what it is. All right. So look, Bitcoin made the inverted head and shoulder here. Right. Bounce back up. Now it's back in a flag again. That's likely to continue to pump. See, that's a flag that I like. Like that has a higher probability of a move now. You have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low. Above a POC. I look at that 5 minute. It's probably a little sleeker, a little thinner. Overbought though on the stochastic. Interesting. Might have to get pinned. Still got space here on the 7 minute to the upside. It's got inverted head and shoulder vibes. You're battling the 200 SMA on the 7 minute time frame. It's all about this yellow line and price action right now. You stay above it, there's a chance things can move. You know what I mean? I am bullish on SpareX. Yeah. It's a good one. It's an interesting coin. All right, everyone, I'm out of here for the day. I got my family here. I just want to say goodbye to them. They're going to be here for a few more hours, but I want to spend as much time as I can. Not as much time as I can with them. Everyone, may God bless each and every one of you for being here. I do see Bitcoin breaking out of this little flag. Small target, though, 41,600. Be careful on a Monday. We do have liquidity on either side, but it is confusing. We're not getting a lot of awesome reads on BOOKMAP today. All right. We'll take a look at mobile before I jump on out of here. Helium Mobile. It's only on Bitmart. You think it would be on a few other exchanges, but only on Bitmart. Huh? That's it. So it just came out, super high risk, everyone, just want to put that out there. Ripped up, though, from 0.03, basically did a double up. Actually went from 0.03 to 1 cent. Wow, it did a 6x. It did a 6x since yesterday. It came back down. The chart is out of control. It's sloppy. It's got just, not much to say about it. Look for it to consolidate up or down. And I mean, it does. How much can it get sold off? It's already, it's kind of pretty close to where it began already a little bit. Pump up, got sold all the way back down. I don't know. Take a shot. I don't know anything about it. Like, apparently, Helium's coming out with all these new little tokens. Be careful. Some of them might not even be associated with Helium, right? Do your deep dive. Do your due diligence. All right. I'd like to see it bounce first. Super high risk, but I'd like to see it bounce here, get tight. There's a chance it makes a move from there. All right. I'm here in Alan, the CEO of Solar, Naeem. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here. Just wanted to mention that the text on CMC about Solar is pretty much outdated. We are working on EVM compatibility and about the release crypto debit cards this week. Really? Interesting. Is that really the CEO of Solar? Amazing. Sorry, man. I don't mean to be rude. You know, that's why I always say that. I'm always like, you never know. You know what I mean? Crypto Lifer, your ASTR call hit for 104% gains. ASTR, USDD. Or ASTR-DAO. No, ASTR-DAO didn't. It struggled. It hit nicely. I'm trying to think what you're talking about. Yeah. Just wanted to mention that the text on CMC. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yes, it's me. Wow. All right, everyone. I'm jumping out of here for the day. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. We will pick back up in the trading group. I will be making updates, talking about things, and seeing what I see. But, you know, I'm keen to see what I'm seeing. I mean, I still see this as a descending triangle. Bitcoin has to get back above 43,300 really up here, and really has to get back above 42,200. 42.2 is my main area of resistance. If we can't get back above that, expect more downside. I want to see, you know, we got to make, and then this is a downward trend line that is a resistance. We must break back above that as well. We got to get back above the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. These are all things that must occur for Bitcoin even to remain bullish, even slightly yet again. Remember, we're watching these smaller time frame flags right now for Bitcoin on the 7 minute. And yeah, we're watching this flag, and there it did pop. I just said it was likely going to pop. There it did go. There's another call right there on the channel. I just drew this flag. I said likely going to push up. I like this as a low with a higher low. I said not a huge move, possibly to 41,600. We'll see. Go from there. All right. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. May God bless each and every one of you, and thank you so much. Attitude, gratitude is the attitude, and every single time you have gratitude in your life and gratefulness in your life, I'm telling you, it does lead to abundance. That is the key to abundance. I'm telling you right now, to be grateful for everything that you have. Today it's raining and dark, but I'm grateful that I'm here with my family. You know, there's always something to look at. There's always a, you know, the green, you know, there's always something to flip the coin and look at it in a more bright perspective. The grass is always greener. The glass is always full. You know what I mean? It's half full. It's not half empty, right? Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Timmy313. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for all the super chats, all the love. $64 in chat revenue, 638 likes. Everyone that made the show an amazing show. We appreciate you. We love you. And look at that. I mean, and even as we end the show, that last little call getting a little pump to the upside for Bitcoin as we just went over it. So shout out to everybody here. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. You can, you will, you are the best. Crypto is life. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. God bless. That's a wrap, team. That's a wrap.